First vlog, I'm going to be looking at just the skills and capacities of two athletes that I coach. Just going to go through first one, athlete one would be all skills, then I'm going to compare and contrast with the capacity of athlete two. I'm just going to give you a little summary of what I see myself. With one athlete in the skill, very good capacity, which I believe you can have great capacity but don't have the skill. But whereas you can't have the skill with some sort of capacity. So I'm going to go talk you through that, and then I'm going to give you a little brief summary at the end. I'll narrate throughout, just explain what I see, and hopefully that'll give you a better understanding of what I'm looking at. So we look at athlete one and the skill issue in the squat. So very good capacity in this athlete. We're just going through real time, doing six reps. Good depth, inside of heel to armpit, good. You can see bar resting on traps. Now we look at foot positioning, so it's not a 10 and 2. There's a slight movement at the hips to the right. So hand positioning also. Look, thumb length not outside the knurling. But hips, so it could be a mobility issue there. So there could be a slight capacity issue there at the hips. A single leg strength for left to right. Not bracing there, chest up. But good depth, so this athlete has very good capacity. Now we look from the side view, so great depth. Look at the wrists, the bent or hyperextended there under the bar, so elbows are good underneath bar, but you need to bring the hands forward and pull on that bar, so brace more. And we look at those heels too, so tight around the gastroc. So it's a little issue there for him to look at in terms of skill and capacity as well. But just little minor improvements and improve that can help with that skill and effectively have a better effect in that motion and with force production. Now we look at athlete 2 and capacity issue to squat. So we look straight away, top down, hands in a poor position there, so we need to bring them closer into the shoulders, just a thumb line outside the knurling. Look at foot positioning. Heel to armpit is good. Feet not a 10 and 2 though. So now we'll go through a slow motion of it. We'll break it down a little bit further. So as I said, good, steps back. Hand positioning there. Not a thumb length outside of the knurling. Is that bracing? Could be better. Good forward look, keeping head up, nice. Bar seems to be resting on traps. Yeah, but at the hips, you can look at that lean to the right. So we're looking at a mobility issue there. And a bit of instability around the hips. Could also part down to single leg strength. Could be looked at as well. So there's a little test. We could look at single leg power. Just look at single leg jumps. We could look at mobility at internal and external range of motion at the hips. And we look at depth too from here. It's not at the correct angle for hips and knees parallel. So there's tightness there in the hip area, and can be said for the gastroc and the soleus. So this gives us a better view. So yes, depth is poor. Elbows not underneath the bar, so you can see the forward lean. Yeah, just at the bottom. Good, he's putting with the forward lean, then he's putting the force into the toes, so you want to put on them all around the foot, so it's sitting into the heels. And we look at again, depth there is questionable, isn't good enough. Good, now we look at athlete 1 and the skill issue at the single leg RDL, which is a exercise I've just brought in a program, because for me, we don't do enough unilateral stuff, that we need to get those deficiencies from left to right and make them as small as possible. So look at it from a side view. much better. So you can see from the first view that it's good stability around the knees, hips, ankle. Now we're just looking at here. So torso is good, but the back leg doesn't come up far enough. Slight overbend at the knee, so not effectively putting force through that hamstring. Good capacity, but yeah, we need to improve that skill and just bring it back, regress it to double leg RDL, and just looking at hinge movement and that bend of the knees. So you can see it there. Good. Yeah, so regressing this would be effective for this athlete. Good. So good pendulum motion, just that back leg doesn't come up far enough. And now we look at athlete 2 and the same thing, single leg RDL. So you can see straight away a few issues there. So stability there, motor control at the knee and the ankle, not looking forward. So it's kind of a bit all over the place in terms of the capacity and the skill as well. So we're looking at straight away back. No thoracic extension, back is curved. And we look at back leg and upper body. So there's no association with either. So one nice and slow. Massive issues there. So we can look at regressing this to a double leg. And we're not bracing enough, back's not straight, back leg not going up far enough. So there's a good few issues there to look at and regress. And not bracing. Knee bend looks good though. So similar to the athlete 1, so a slight over bend. So you want it to get near just before extension leg with a slight bend in that knee. So to summarize, two athletes looking at skill and a capacity issue. Athlete 1, we looked at the skill, so very good capacity. As you say, you can have great capacity but can't have that skill. So he had very good capacity. Just slight problems there at the ankles, just at the wrist too in terms of hand positioning, and also hyperextending those wrists. So he needed to have them nice and flat, a nice pull on the bar, looking at hand position on the bar, so not a thumb length outside the knurling. So slight issues there which can cause a bit of forward lean, which we looked at. Look at his bracing, just to keep it nice and strong, just at the core, and just loading up those knees and those quads effectively. And we looked at a skill issue at the RDL, so capacity, very good. So I'll be extremely happy with that if I seen an athlete come in and produce that move straight away like that. Just slight issues, spine, good, nice and straight, just a bit more thoracic extension for me. Back leg was good, was keeping in line with spine, but then kind of near the end of the range just kind of dropped off, so we have to check that out and just kind of cue the athlete. Slight overbend at the knee, so you want just off extension, just with a slight bend, but all very good. So then athlete 2, we looked at capacity, as you could see from the squat, so top down, elbows not underneath bar, so it's causing a forward lean. Wrists were quite good, better than athlete 1. Hand position on the bar was poor, not thumbnail outside the knurling. Bracing didn't show me any. Good looking forward throughout. There was a lean on the right side of the hip, so we're looking at any mobility issues there on the hip, so internal external range of motion to hips. We're looking at also single leg power, so there could be a discrepancy there which we'd have to look at. And then we're looking at obviously the mobility issue because his depth wasn't good enough at the from hips to knee, it was just above. So we're looking at ankle range of motion as well. Then we looked at single leg RDL, so capacity you could see straight away. Back wasn't straight, there was no thoracic extension, there was no in line with spine and back leg, so back leg wasn't getting up far enough. Overbend at the knee, stability in the knee and the ankle was poor, so there's a lot of issues, so we'd have to regress that to a double leg RDL, and we'd have to clear that up and just get him good at the hinge movement, so any glute bridges, any just double leg RDLs right now. So okay, so that's to summarize that, and I hope you enjoyed my vlog, and thank you very much.